we go. Alright, so elevation and depression are measured from the horizontal. What do you think this angle here would be? Yeah, so depression is just when it's going down. The shorthand, a lot of people remember this by just thinking, hey, we're looking down. If we're starting here from the horizontal, we're looking down. And what would this next one be? Yeah, looking up or elevation. When we have, because the horizontal lines are parallel, then on any given line, the angle of elevation would equal the angle of depression. Does anyone remember what we call those lines?
Which ones?
If we have parallel lines and transversals, what we'd call that angle pair?
Alternate exterior.
Alternate interior.
Well, it's hard. Oh,
yeah,
those are
because they're inside the two horizontal lines, so they're alternate interior angles.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so it's again the elevation. The easiest way to remember is just looking up. Depression is looking down. All right, so then next, you're going to take 30 seconds or so by yourself or talk with your group if you need to. See if you can label angles 1, 2, 3, and 4 as either elevation or depression. And then I'll call in some people to answer. Can you not see from there? Wait, say that once more. Oh. Wait, don't say it until I call on you. So are you is the person looking up or looking down?
Oh, the person?
Mm-hmm, the person.
The plane is looking sideways. Are you flying sideways?
So you're going from the person to the object. Are they looking up or looking down? You can put E and D for if you want to, as long as you know the difference.
Are you ready?
If you miss, you owe me clean up.
I'm not going to do that.
No, like clean up the whole.
Solid.
All right, I'm drawing on seat numbers. I got seat number 22, which is BJ. What did you get for number 1?
Elevation.
Elevation. Okay, because the person is looking up at the plane, so we're going to measure that angle that he's looking up at the plane.
Why can't there be questions like this on the test?
There might be.
Oh.
All right, number 10, which is Natalie. What's number 2? Depression. All right, seat number 28. Matthew, what did you get for number 3?
Depression.
Mm-hmm. And seat number 27. Ariana, what's number 4? Elevation. Okay, so flip over to the next page. And look, there's more classify. So this is a slightly more complex figure. You just have to say, hey, where is the vertex of the one they're looking at? So I'll take a volunteer. Number 1, is that going to be elevation or depression?
Elevation.
Yeah, because from 1, the vertex is right here at the lighthouse. We're looking up at the bird.
Wait, do what?
So one's elevation. Desk 24, which is Enrique. What's number 2?
Number 2 is the bird, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Wait, how you know which one?
All right, Jacob, what's the next one? Do just this next one. What's number 3? Yeah, 3, we're looking down. And desk 14. Deshandra, what's that last one? Oh, you're taking a quiz.
I did.
Okay, Claire, what's that last one? Yeah, elevation. Okay.
Bruce, my raising David hand.
All right. I heard some questions during that. So, do you need to explain?
Your opinion.
Nice glasses. Wait.
So here, look up here if you're a little bit confused. So we're looking at where the number is. I'm looking at this angle. So like 1 is this angle, and the slanted line, is it going up or down? And so it's going up from there. Number 2, we're looking at this angle, the slanted line, because the horizontal is just there. The slanted line's always going to look
Where's
up.
the horizontal?
So horizontal is the dotted line here. And so angle 2 has to be talking about this one here, and so it's going down.
Horizontal, the dotted line? Yeah.
Horizontal or the dotted lines.
This so angle 2 is this one right here. This is angle 1. It's the like angle 3.
Isn't it just about like however the line comes out? So
Yeah, so is that slanted line from the vertex of whatever they label to you? Is it? Yeah. Kind of, but I mean it's more of like where you're looking, not on a coordinate plane. Yeah.
Slopes are more algebra stuff, right?
Yeah, we do slopes sometimes in geometry.
We haven't done that in a long
Okay, here we go. So this is where it's applied. This is what you guys are going to do after we do these 4 questions. You'll do something similar to this.
So I go all the way to A.
So we're going to angle of elevation to the sun is 52 degrees, and tree casts a shadow that's 9 meters long. What's the height of the tree? Okay, so we're going to draw a tree. Okay. Yeah, so we draw the tree. We know the sun's up here, and it's coming down at an elevation of 52 degrees.
Well, from the sun to the
Okay. The reason the angle of elevation is important just lets us know it's this bottom angle slanting up. Oh, did you make some? I made some also. Thank you.
I think I printed.
You printed some out here, and I got them.
Okay, I
and
wasn't sure. You got them.
Did she get them? Or did she? Okay, I'll give her some of these. Okay. All right.
What?
So which side is it asking us to find?
How?
The meters.
What is the tree?
The
The shadow. The shadow.
The shadow.
The height of the shadow, right?
Okay, so the shadow is 9 meters long. Shadow's along the ground.
Oh, height of the tree.
Height of the tree. So we put our X here. So now what are we going to use to solve this?
Trigonometry.
Trigonometry. Tangent. Yeah, that's our opposite side. This is our adjacent side. So tan 52 equals.
9 is our adjacent. 9 is adjacent.
So we use the inverse.
Opposite,
Yeah, opposite over adjacent. Do we multiply or divide to solve it? Multiply, because it's already x divided by 9. So type this in their calculator. What'd you get?
11.5.
This one.
11.5.
My answer key says 13.34. So is my answer key wrong?
It's on degree. Trigonometry is stupid. Yeah. 11.519.
Okay. So if it's 11.591, do we round it up or do we leave it?
Wait.
Around 519.
How'd you
Do your high kick.
591? Oh yeah, dude, I have to do slow motion.
Yeah.
Were there questions over these 3 before we move on?
Easy.
Pretty good. All right. So there was an error in this one because technically, I mean, we can kind of estimate it, but if he's looking up at his friend, we have to factor in Jared's height too, and it didn't tell us what Jared's height is. So on your project that you're about to do that I'm explaining, that you're going to have the rest of the class to do, is we have some of those diagrams, okay? So in the stuff that you measure today, these are the examples of I'm going to show you how to use the clinometer, which you guys helped make last plus period. And so just remember there's going to be that extra step of adding in your height, okay? All right, so let's, let me grab one of these things.
He's 1.6 meters tall.
Yeah, he's super tall. Well, no, wait, 1.6 could be like...
He's the tallest man in the world.
No.
Yeah, 1.6 would be like 5'3". That's pretty normal. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so these are the things you made last class. You guys, everyone needs to be looking up here because once I explain this project, you're getting graded on can you go through the process and do it without asking for help. Okay? And so all you do is we made these when you hold it up that a string will dangle. You're going to do this in groups of 2 or 3 because it requires like one person to hold it and look and the other person to read the angle. And so if I'm looking up at an object, so say I had it right here, and he's using it to look up at the object, the string would dangle down, and I would read the, it says, your directions say read the obtuse angle and then subtract 90. Is that going to match up with the acute angle? Is 130 minus 90 equal to 50? No, it doesn't, okay? So it is important. So you're going to read the obtuse angle, okay? And so I'm going to read the 130. And then because I want to measure the distance from the horizontal, I subtract 90 to get the 40-degree angle that they have here. Question on that?
Hold on.
Wait.
We don't take no star test, right?
No, we don't take STAR test. But you're doing this project, and this is counting as a quiz, okay? So this is a really easy way to get 100 because I'm just grading on, hey, did you go through the process that you're supposed to go through? So step 1, look through the straw. So whatever object you choose to measure, we'll talk about what you can choose in a few minutes. And so you look, one person looks up at it, the other person reads the obtuse angle, okay, and then you write it down. Then you subtract 90 from your obtuse angle and record your measurements on the answer sheet. Okay, and then you just have a problem to solve. So basically you're drawing your own diagram, you measure the angle, and then you just use trigonometry to solve. Make sure to add in your height. Okay, so I would write that down, make sure to add your height, and then flip over to the next page. Oh, sorry, take it back. When I hand you out papers, you'll do that. Okay, so like I said, this is in groups of 2 or 3, so you'll write your names here. This is an example, okay? The tree didn't photocopy real well, but this is a tree, and so there's a 5-foot-tall person looking up. They measure, and so I'm going to give you guys yardsticks you have to use to measure how far you're standing from the base of the object.
Alright, you gotta convert all this stuff?
Measure the angle. You can choose. If you have a yardstick, you can measure everything in yards, or you can choose to do it in feet. I would not recommend doing inches just because
That's too many.
that's going to be really big. Okay, so a obtuse angle measured minus 90, you get your angle to work with, and then you draw your diagram and solve. And then check to make sure your answer is logical, okay? If you go outside and choose to measure the side of this building and you get something like 10 feet, your answer is not logical. So so what I'm grading is that you have your sketch, you have your calculations matching your sketch, and that you give me good reflections of the y. Okay, I know some science projects you do this. It's like, even if you make a mistake on the calculations, if you explain clearly to me your work is done and you show me your thought process, that's what's going to get you a good grade. Okay, so I'm going to stop this recording.